he followed me home, akaingia kwa nyumba, akaanza kubang mlango. Aida, fungua mlango, fungua mlango. Akapita na mlango. Bila na mlango, akakuja akanipata nikilala juu ya kitanda. Chini ya kitanda yetu kumbe kulikuwa na panga. Akainua panga hivi, it was like alikuwa anataka kunikata. Nikakimbia, nikafungua mlango, nikatoka.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Voices on the Edge. My name is Eddah Ayon and I'm very honored to host this space where survivors of gender-based violence can share their truths, their journeys of resilience and their strengths. For our very first episode, I'm very honored to host Eddah Ayon as our first guest. And Eddah, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
We are so honored to have you.
Pleasure.
So before we begin, I would like to let our viewers know that we are going to be discussing very sensitive topics that might trigger someone. So we would like to put out a disclaimer on the same and to put out a viewers' discretion advice. So Eddah, welcome to today's conversation. This is a very important conversation for me because it's something that affects lots of people and a lot of their stories go untold. Yeah. So before we begin, who is Eddah?
My name is Eddah Ayon. I'm an artist and I'm a single mother to 3 wonderful boys.
You mentioned that you're a single mom. What is the story?
Okay, si ni kama kawaida tu. I was with somebody that I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. Then we separated. Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. How long were you married?
Okay, I was married when I was very young. I was like 17 going 18. I was very young. Yeah. That was in 2013. 2012, I mean, 2012. Yeah. And I was married for like 7 years. It was an on and off thing. So I don't know if we're gonna be like counting the months that we were together and the ones that we were not, we're gonna be taking out. I don't know, but for like 7 years.
How was the situation like?
It was actually, it wasn't something that I would say I'm proud of. Apart from the kids, it was a very ugly experience. Yeah, because you know, marriages are supposed to be bringing 2 souls together. You should be happy and all that, supporting each other. But mine wasn't even, not even for a month. We'd fight all the time. Actually, we started fighting after like 2 weeks of knowing each other. That's when we started fighting. He got abusive. Yeah, like physically abusive. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I really enjoyed it, but it was for 7 years, 7 ugly years. Yeah.
For a lot of there's an assumption that the first 3 months of a relationship are supposed to be blissful. So what happened? What happened in 2 weeks?
Oh my God! It was just a stupid fight over a remote. Yeah. He was a lecturer at Egerton. Yeah, and then I'd stay at home. Yeah, he'd go to work in the morning and then come back in the evening. So when he came back this particular day, I was like watching a soap opera. I cannot remember which specifically. And then he wanted to watch football, and then I was like, yo, can you just let me finish this? Yeah, I only have like 5 minutes, I don't know. Then when I'm done, I'm just gonna hand you the remote. Then he refused. And then I gave him the remote, like I was just like, oh my God, you can have your remote. Then he just slapped me. That's how it started. After 2 weeks of knowing him. Yeah.
So what was going on in your mind when that happened for the first time?
I was like, maybe it was just ni kitu imemfanyikia kama hajui. He won't do it again. And then I was very young. I felt like maybe he loves me. That's why he beat me up. I was very stupid. Oh my God. Yeah. And then after that, one thing led to the other. Yeah, he started getting like verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Is somebody he'd come home and not even talk to me. I'd be like, why are you not talking to me? Yeah, just quite there. And then maybe he'd call me names, and then he'd go physical. Yeah.
So for how long did this go on?
for as long as I stayed with him. Yeah. Sisi ni watu ambao tulikuwa tunakaa kwa nyumba. And then tukikaa for like 1 week bila kugombana, ni maajabu tu. Ni maajabu tu. Ni mtu ambaye he is not somebody you tell things and listen. You know, I was only 17 going 18. It was like, this is a child. But then I'm like, if I'm a child, why am I here with you? I'm like, you should be treating me as your equal, yeah? As tukikuja pamoja, we are equal. There's nothing as you being the husband and I'm being the bigger person and now I'm the smaller person, yeah? Yeah, so I think alikuwa amenidharau tu juu aliona mimi ni mdogo, and that is something that women should look out for. You see these men, these old men who want to date small ladies and they don't want to date the ladies of their age. Wanajua vizuri hawa wanawake rika zao know better and the things they can stand and things they cannot stand, and that is why they go lower. He was like 28, I was 18. Amenizidi miaka 10. So wanaonanga sisi wasichana wadogo we were easily, how do I say, gullible? Is that we can be persuaded easily, yeah? Ndio maana hawataki kudate wasichana rika zao. I see them post all over. Wasichana wadogo, the young in sound wa kusema no, they can control these ones but they cannot control women of the same age bracket, yeah. So mimi nilikuwa nakaa tu, I was very young. Naona mimi nimepata mtu, he's a lecturer, na nilipita vizuri, I was to go to campus but I did not. Ni lecturer, ameacha wasichana rika zake, ameacha ma lecturer amenikujia, so I thought that was something so special. Yeah, nilikuwa tu mdogo.
You mentioned that you passed but you didn't get to go to college at that particular point. Why did that happen?
He promised me, let me tell you, mimi nikimaliza form 4, mtu ambaye alini introduce kwake ni brother-in-law wangu. Yeah, so they're like cousins. The two men are cousins. So this guy promised to take me to school because he was told msichana amepita vizuri, acha aende shuleni. Mimi then he was like, I'll take her to school. Nitamsomesha. Mimi pia kuona ule ni lecturer na atanisomesha. Mimi nikakimbia nikaenda nikidhani wanaume wataisha kwa hii dunia. I was like, nikiacha huyu kuna mtu ataenda, acha mimi niende. I was very young, you know. Yeah. So alisema atanipeleka shuleni. When my mom tried talking to me, rudi nyumbani, you're still very young. Even aniongelesha, but she did not know that I was already pregnant.
Oh, you were already pregnant.
I was already pregnant and so much in love. Na nishapigwa hadi huko na sisi mwangu.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just chanikae tu.
So at what point did you realize that this promise ya shule was not coming?
No, he actually took me to school. After nishaza mtoto wa kwanza, firstborn, alinipeleka university as promised, first semester. Second semester, took a struggle. I got pregnant with my secondborn, but his family was against him taking me to school. Yeah, his mother, there's this particular day his mother came and told me, not like he sent somebody or gossip, he just came and told me, pesa ambazo nafaa kusikia nazo vizuri unapelekwa nazo shule. Who do you think you are?
The mother-in-law.
The mother-in-law told me, and his brother too. Yeah. There's a day they sat me down and they were like, unasumbua unasema huyu mwanaume sijui akupendi nini. He's somebody who's so very learned. Akona masters, anaweza hata hatujui mbona amekuoa, we form 4 dropout. Anafaa kudate wasichana wenye wako level yake huko. You see such kind of things. So nadhani pressure ilimuingia, na pia he was the breadwinner of the family, yeah. Another thing, marrying a breadwinner, I'm never doing that ever. Yeah, the family always hates any woman who's married to the breadwinner.
Why?
Because the moment umeenda hapo wanafeel ni kama hawatapata vitu ambavyo walikuwa wanapata.
Yeah.
So venye alipigiwa kelele akakalishwa chini wakamtafutia msichana. And even worse, a worse woman, yeah, who was not even as educated. Mtu ambaye alifail vibaya. So alienda akakalishwa chini, akaacha kunipeleka shuleni. So pesa zilikuwa zinaenda kwa brother yake, ana educate watoto wa brother yake. Mimi nimeachwa huko. Yeah. So he neglected us and was taking care of his the kids of his brothers, nephews and nieces. Yeah.
So at this point, are you still living together?
Of course. Yeah, hiyo time we were still living together after when I dropped out, yeah. Nilizaa second born and then nikarudi nyumbani. Yeah, and that's why niliacha kufunzwa. So we were just living together. Unapigwa, unakimbia, unaenda nyumbani, saa zingine unakimbia, unaacha mtoto, unarudi jioni, unapata sijui. It was so much drama, so much drama. Yeah, we were still staying together.
Did his family, was his family aware of the abuse that was going on?
Yes, yes, they knew very well. And his mother would tell me how like my father-in-law, my late father-in-law would beat women and people would say nothing. His brothers, the nephews and the nieces would come in the morning to confirm if I'm still there. Wanapata nimefura, nimepigwa, wanacheka, you see. Everybody knew about the abuse, from the church to the chief to everywhere. I told everybody, but nobody did anything.
Came through for you.
When I realized it was my fight, it was nobody's fight. It was upon me to live or stay because it was my life. Nikikaa hapo niuliwe, maisha itaendelea.
Exactly. Yeah.
To realize that it was my fight, nobody else's. So nikachukua sheria mikononi, nikasema mimi acha sasa nifanye nini? Nitoke.
You mentioned that you dropped out of college, that at some point your husband stopped paying your school fees, even after promising to educate you. How did you pick yourself up? How did you get to the point that now you're able to take care of your children in a comfortable way?
I don't know if we should be calling him a husband because hakupeleka mahari, but unajua watu ushago watasema ni husband, but ukienda kwa nini? Yeah. So okay, there's this point. There's this particular day alinipiga vibaya sana. After kunipiga, I was still breastfeeding my second born, yeah. So after kunipiga, he threw me out on the rain and took everything that he ever bought me and told me, now you can go, yeah. I left the kid there. And then, his story ileta shida, so I want to come out clean, yeah. I want to come out clean and tell everybody what happened, yeah, the truth, because hakuna mtu atanipiga, yeah. So I went to Rongo. There's this guy who alikuwa kwa friend group yetu, wasichana wa campus, tulikuwa na group yetu, then there was this guy alikuwa anafanya KCB Bank, alikuwa kwa friend group, yeah. So I decided to go to Rongo. I called him and told him that I have nowhere to go because nikienda nyumbani odioduogo. Where were you living at the time? I was staying with the man at home, Ushago, Rodi, yeah, tulikuwa tunaishi Rodi, Ushago. So I called this guy and told him I'm looking for somebody to host me. We were not in a relationship yet, yeah. And then was like, you can come over. He was very nice to me, yeah. Unajua your time matiti imefura, you have not breastfed your baby, so he'd like take me to the hospital, ananirudisha, he'd help me like kutoa hiyo maziwa hadi nikapona vizuri, and he treated me so nice, yeah. And one thing led to the other, yeah. Then I got pregnant for him, and then after telling him that I was pregnant, he sent me money to abort. That's my third child, yeah. I could not abort that kid. I was like, no, I cannot do this. Then nikarudi nyumbani, yeah. Akakuja kwetu, and then he was like, I want you back. You want me back? Okay. I was like, let me go back to my kids. And then he was like asking, Eddah, uko na mimba? And then I told him I'm pregnant. And then he was like, who's the father? I could not say somebody. I was like, I'm just pregnant. And then it was like, is that my child? Then I told him, that's your child. Yeah. And then we went to Karudi kwao, yeah. Si tukakaa tu vizuri. I went and blocked that guy. And I just forgot about it. That was my mistake. Actually, when I got pregnant, we were not together with this guy. We were separated for like 5 months, yeah. He moved on. Alikuwa hata na wasichana wake huko, yeah. Mi pia maisha yangu sinaendelea. Then alikuja kunitafuta kama kawaida. Si mimi nikarudi. Tukalea mimba vizuri, and then siku ya kuzaa, I don't know what happened on that day. That day he called me several times. I did not pick up.
The father of the kid?
Yeah, the biological father. Yeah. He called me several times. I did not pick up. Unajua ile design una blocking him to then. unaona call kama ishaingia, ishakatika. And then he used his friend's number to call my phone. Mimi niko labor room, nimeenda kuzaa. Huyu jamaa ndo alinipeleka ya. So kwenda kuzaa, I gave some woman, tulikuwa tumekaa naye kwa the same ward, yeah? I gave her my phone. I told her, if my husband calls, tell him nimeenda wapi? Nimeenda kujifungua. So, yeah. Yeah, so this woman picked the phone knowing that it was who? My husband. Kumbe ikuwa yeye. And then she told him ati Eddah ameenda kujifungua. And then the guy was like, kutoa mimba, akajimalizia. Eddah kutoa mimba. Yeah? And then akakuja usi. Simi kuja usi, amekuja. Mimi natoka huko na sukumwa na wheelchair. Nimebeba mtoto hivi. Oh my God, I've been through. Nimepitia vitu vingi. So nimebeba mtoto na sukumwa hivi na wheelchair. He sent some woman, his brother's wife, to come and stay with me. So mimi nasukumwa na mtoto. The biological dad anakuja, anachukua mtoto. Yeah? Akishachukua mtoto, this other woman akaona, akapigia ex simu. Kuna watu wamekuja. Okay, let me just laugh about it. He died, by the way. Alikufa some, I don't know, 2 months ago. The biological dad. Yeah, he passed on. So yeye ajui kitu inaendelea. Hakuna mtu anajua kitu inaendelea. You know, miscommunication. Yeye anajua bado. Nilishachana na ule jamaa. Niko peke yangu, yeye amekujia mtoto. She not about my kid. This woman pia msheni na muuma anataka kuharibu hapa. Ashapiga.
Kuna watu wamekujia mtoto.
Pia niko hapa nimetoka kujifungua like 1 minute ago. I don't know what to do. I'm stranded there. So I think that was just God doing his job. Hapo ndo sasa nilitoka kabisa, yeah? Mungu aliona siwezi toka, so he planned something so bad to happen. Yenye itanitoa kabisa. Yenye itafanya ule jamaa sasa akose hata kunikaribisha. So akapigiwa simu. Nini. Huyu jamaa akashangaa. Yaani kila mtu anashangaa because nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. Nikamwambia mamangu mimi nakuja home. Mamangu pia anashangaa. Who is this? I'm like, ni baba mtoto. Baba mtoto mgani? Nobody knows what's going on. Yeah, so from there ndo tulianza kuachana sasa kabisa. Huyo mtoto huwa na believe ni blessing in disguise. Because without him hata singeanza kuimba. Singetoka kwa hiyo ndoa, yeah. So from there ndo tukaachana kabisa. We'd talk, I'd go see the kids, but it was done. It was very done. So from there pressure postpartum. How is it called? Is that postpartum depression ikanishika hapo kabisa. Nikaamua kwenda NYS because I could not stay at home. I'd carry the child and just cry. I'd cry seeing the child. I could not even breastfeed him. Nikaamua kwenda NYS. I went there for like 5 months. Nilirudi kama nimeheal. I wanted to stay away from everybody. Then from NYS ndo nikatoka. Nikaenda Kisii. Nilikuwa nafanya kwa gym. Hapo ndo sasa nilianza kuimba. There's this guy, kulikuwa na gym and there was a spa too. The gym had a spa side. So there's this artist, Kisii artist, who'd come over for cuts. And then I just asked him, una produce ngoma wapi? And then, can you sing? I told him I can sing. Kuja studio, nikarecord cover yangu hivyo tu. Nikaanza kuuza simu. That's how nilijitoa huko na I picked up myself. Ndo nikaanza kuimba, nikaanza kuwa stable kidogo. I'd go over to see the kids. Vitu nimewanunulia. They were still staying with the dad. Vitu nimenunulia watoto. Alikuwa anachoma. Watoto wakiniona like if wakiniona wakitaka kunikujia na wachapa. It was so bad. So I was like, oh my God, Mungu nisaidie tu nitoke hapa, nipate pesa zangu and ways of staying with my kids. Then one thing led to the other. Nikakuwa stable, nikachukua watoto. Yeah, now I stay with them. Yeah.
I saw you mentioned on your social media sometime that you have plans of going back to school. How is that going?
Bado ni ngumu, you know, kupeleka watoto 3 shuleni. Yeah, I'm doing music hapa. Na sasa shule pia nikiongeza. nitakuwa nimelemewa sana. And that's why I was asking anybody who can sponsor me nirudi shuleni, because you know I do everything by myself. I pay the bills, I pay the school fees. Muziki pia nafanya, pia ijaanza kulipa sana, unaona. So nikipata mtu nitarudi shuleni. Yeah.
Okay. Looking back, what were some of the signs that you ignored?
Okay, when my ex would shout at me, you know, it's not normal for somebody to be shouting at you, somebody you love, somebody who claims to love you. He'd be shouting at me, he'd be punching the wall, he'd be giving me threats, yeah. So I ignored most of the signs because I thought like maybe he'll grow over it, and maybe with time he'll just sit back and think like whatever I'm doing to this lady is not okay. But things went from bad to worse. Yeah.
So what is your motivation for sharing this story publicly? Because I know a lot of people are in a space where they are not free enough to discuss issues like this. What is your motivation for wanting to put your story out there? Okay,
first of all, you know, I'm a public figure, and in one way or the other, ukweli utakuja kujulikana siku moja, yeah? So I'm like, let me just say it before somebody else comes with something that did not happen to me. Let me tell everybody. And then I'm like, let me just tell people for them to learn from what happened to me before it happens to you, right? Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of survivors describe themselves as feeling trapped. What would you say was keeping you in that space where you are being abused and you could not move?
Okay, there's something called seeking validation. Yeah, you know, when somebody does not want you, you really will work hard for towards them liking you, right? You'd be like, what am I doing wrong? I really want this person to like me. Yeah, what am I doing wrong? So I was trapped. I was like, I really wanted to make him not see me as a failure in his eyes. Yeah. So
was there any other reason in the abusive relationship?
I had kids with him. So I was like, what if I step out and nobody wants me with these kids? Where am I going to take them? What are people going to say about me? Wajaluo wanasemanga odioduogo, eh?
Yeah.
Nikienda nyumbani nitakuwa odioduogo, and I have kids. Where am I going to go? And then I felt like I love this man. I don't think I'm going to be able to love somebody else like I love him. So I was like, let me just stay. Maybe he'll change. Maybe I'll get used to it. Yeah.
What does odioduogo mean?
Odioduogo is a woman who was married at some point and has decided to like, I don't want to get married anymore. Let me leave this husband, and I want to go back home to my mom and to my parents. Yeah. So you went to get married and now you're back home. Odioduogo, ulienda ukarudi. Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that an odioduogo would face in the typical African home? In the typical African Luo home?
First of all, it's just rejection from your family. Yeah, your family can reject you. Me, at some point, one of my sisters told me, you thought you married to a lecturer. Yeah, now you're back. He doesn't want you and you have kids. What are you going to do? Yeah, rejection from family, and then you like, what are people? Maybe nobody is gonna want me because I was once married and things did not work out. They're gonna think like I'm the bad one. Nobody will want to marry me again. And then your kids, when you're home with them, feeding them is gonna be a problem. That is a challenge too. Then you're like, how is my mom going to see me? Oh, my parents, I'm going to be a burden to them at home. Yeah.
So what was your turning point? When did you decide that I've had enough and I'm not going to do this anymore?
It's a lot of courage and time for somebody who's been abused to walk out. Yeah, I used to go home and come back, go home and come back, go and come back, and then this point there's a time alinikimbiza na panga. Yeah, I was like, this guy is going to kill me.
Would you like to tell us
more about that?
Yeah.
There's this day we were home. It was on the Valentine's Day. Yeah, so we were home and I was like, maybe today he's not gonna cheat. He was cheating. I knew he was cheating, but you know, every time I complained about it, he'd beat me up. So I was like, today is the Valentine's Day. I'm his wife. Yeah. maybe he's gonna spare this day for us. But then on that day alioga, akaoga akavaa vizuri. I'm like, why are you going? It's the 14th. And then he told me, I'm going to such a place. I'm like, yo, we should be staying home. And then he told me he's not gonna stay home. And then when he was walking out, and then I don't know, maybe it was just God, aliingiza mkono hivi kwa mfuko kutoa, CD zikaanguka. Yeah. And then I was like, yeah. Even today, hata leo hataki kukaa na mimi. Nikaanza kupiga kelele, and then he was like, yo, usianze drama nini hizi napelekea mtu blah blah. And then I was like, okay, and go. Then he failed to come home as promised. Na mimi nilijua atakuwa wapi. So I went there. I found him with a side chick. And then I was like, okay, you're doing this to me. I'm going to cheat too. But in the real sense, I wasn't gonna cheat. I was just going back home. So mimi nikarudi nyumbani. Then he was like, oh, she's going to cheat on me. Then he followed me home. Akaingia kwa nyumba. Akaanza kubang mlango. Aida, fungua mlango. Akapita na mlango. Pita na mlango. Akakuja akanipata nikilala juu ya kitanda. And then he started searching the house. Where is he? He went to the kids' bedroom, went to under his bed, our bed, and then found nobody. And then chini ya kitanda yetu kumbe kulikuwa na panga. Akachukua panga. Akaniambia, do you want to cheat on me? Akainua panga hivi. He was like, alikuwa anataka kunikata. Nikakimbia, nikafungua mlango, nikatoka. Yeah, that was my turning point. I was like, oh my God, I'm staying here for the kids, but kuka kwangu hapa, I'm even gonna die. The kids won't even live to see me. Yeah? The sacrifices I'm making, hawatakuja kuziona. So nikaamua tuacha mimi nitoke, niache watoto. That's how I left. But then funny thing, I came back again. But when I came back, he was not home. Alipata kazi kwingine, so he traveled most of the time. Yeah, so I was like staying home with the kids.
But the kids were home. Okay, so between the time that you now decided to leave and the time that the abuse started, how much time had lapsed in between?
God, so many years. It was an on and off thing. I cannot say like it was for this. I would go home. I would stay with him for like 3 months. Then we'd fight. He'd beat me up. Then I'd go home to my parents or maybe go somewhere. Then come back. It was an on and off thing. But for like I think 7 years. But the abuse started after 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Of you knowing him.
Yeah, he beat me. Mimi sikuwa ipigwa na mwanaume, but hiyo siku alinipiga vibaya.
So at that point there are no kids.
No kids yet.
Yeah. Okay. So how did the experience affect your mental and psychological states of being?
I think it just made me more alert. Yeah. I was very keen, even right now when I'm dating somebody, I'm very keen on details. Mimi mtu akianza kunishautia hivi, I'm gone. That is verbal abuse. Tunafaa kuongea kama watu wazima. It made me so alert and it made me see men as my enemies. Yeah.
So in the period where you are still undergoing the abuse, where was your mind? How were you feeling?
Okay, I knew one thing that I knew was that I was going to leave him. I did not just have the energy to leave, but I knew very well that siku moja nitapata nguvu and I'm going to walk away. Yeah? So I'd just stay there and see myself. At times I would imagine, after ameshanipiga, I'd imagine myself somewhere staying with my kids alone with no man. Yeah.
And the physical? Were you affected physically?
Yeah. It beat me. Kuna nini meno sina huku. And then yeah, it was so bad. Macho ifure hivi, mdomo imefura, amekungoa nywele. That's why I started even cutting my hair. Yeah, mimi sikuwa nanyoa. Nikaanza kunyoa juu yake. Alikuwa ananipiga na ngoa nywele, yeah. He'd hit me with the belt. You see belt, that metallic part. Ndo anakupiga na. Yeah. Hiyo ndo unapigwa nayo.
Okay. So were there support systems, for example, family, friends, that you feel supported you or failed you while you were undergoing abuse or even after you had left the abusive situation?
Okay, first of all, the church failed me. Eddah Ayon hii moja hii. Alipewa hata cheo kanisani. I would go to church, report, but they did nothing about it. Okay, mwanzo hivi I would tell my mom whatever was happening, but he was so, one thing about these guys is that they're so good to people outside, such that ukireport, people will be like, no, you're lying, he cannot do that to you, he just sent me money. That, ni mtu mpole sana, so when I'd tell my mom and my sisters, they'd be like, no, huyo mtu hawezi kukupiga, Eddah tulia. But ilifika point wakakuja wakajionea. And the society too, nilikuwa naenda kwa chief, naenda kwa polisi. So support si kupata vile.
In your healing journey, what steps have been helpful? What have you intentionally done? Or the work that you've intentionally put in to heal?
Okay, first of all, I just accepted that it happened to me. Nilijikubali, nikasema mimi nimeaipigwa. I've been through that. You'd rather accept it than deny it. That is I think that's the only thing that people fail to do or rather understand. The more you accept it, the more you heal. And you see them as lessons, not as like things that bruised you. I learned from that. It's not like it almost killed me or what. I learned from it. And now to the preceding relationships, you're like, you can learn from whatever you saw, and you're like, no, I don't want to see this happening to me anymore. If somebody does this to me, hii ni pattern ya ule jamaa. Nilijikubali too, it happened to me. That's what I did.
So how were the kids affected by this whole situation?
I think the kids were still very young, but they'd see him beat me, and unapata wakipiga story mahali like, oh my God, mama alipigwa jana na baba. They knew. There's a day I found them talking about it, and it really hurt me. So I think they were just too young to comprehend or rather know what's going on. They thought that was very normal. Saizi unajua ni watu wazima. If they see that, they'll know like, no, this is not a good thing. But to them at that point it was normal to them.
So what does healing look like for you today? Tell us about the healed version of you.
Right now I know what to look out for in a man, like in an abusive man. I know how they smile. I know how they talk to people. I know how they eat. I know everything about a man who beats women.
How do they smile? I'm curious.
They just smile they do not smile with their eyes. It's kind of, I don't know, I can't describe it, but it's kind of funny. An abusive man does not smile with their eyes. They just smile with their mouth up wide open, and there's this creepy look they give you. There's how they talk, there's how they eat. I know what an abusive man looks like. And it really has helped me. Since then, sijawahi pata mwanaume ambaye hata anapiga mwanamke. A man who does not know how to treat women with respect.
So what gives you strength and hope to move forward?
Okay, right now, I'm staying with my kids. I'm a single mother right now. I provide for them, I do everything for them. So seeing them around, working hard for their bright future, gives me hope. And where I have come from, nimetoka mbali sana. And I really am looking forward to my future. I know it's gonna be bright. It already is bright, but brighter,
There are so many misconceptions about GBV. What are some misconceptions that you'd like to clear up?
Okay, misconceptions about GBV. Some people say that women get beat up for a reason, like, I don't know, unapigwa juu ulifanya kitu. No, nobody deserves to be beaten up. Because kama ni kukosea wanaume wanakosea sana, but we don't even beat them up. Kama ni kupigwa wanaume wangekuwa wanapigwa sana. Misconception ingine is like kukaa hapo ni kujitakia. I would never say that to anybody, because when I stayed with that guy for 7 years, I did not want to stay there, but I stayed. It's just something that you just unakaa unapigwa mpaka utachoka ndo utatoka. It's very hard for somebody who's been abused na mwanaume kutoka. I don't know why that is.
Research says that it takes an average of 7 attempts to leave.
Oh, mine was more than 7. Mine was, oh my God, in a year maybe in a year ndo ilikuwa 7.
7.
I really wanted to walk away, but I could not just do it.
because you felt trapped.
Yeah, and you want this person to like you. Yeah. There's some people who wakitoka kwa hiyo relationship, they find other relationships boring. They love chaos a lot, but that's not me. It was just that one relationship, and then I was like no. But utapata mtu mwingine anatoka kwa hii abusive relationship anaenda kwa ingine. Yeah. Kuna venye tu watu wanakuanga addicted. I can't explain it. Yeah.
And as we speak, I know there are people that are in abusive situations. What advice do you have for them? They're in such situations, and they do not have the courage to speak up or the courage to leave. What would you tell a person like that?
Okay, the things you just mentioned, that's what I would tell them. Leave before it's too late. Yeah, that guy almost killed me. You've seen women being butchered on the daily. Yeah, wanapigwa on the daily. Some lose their limbs, their teeth, you see. So you'd rather just gather the courage and leave before it's too late. Yeah, because that man is not gonna change. Yeah, they never change. It gets from bad to worse. Yeah. So you'd rather just gather the courage and leave. Even if you don't want to talk about it, just leave before it's too late. Yeah. Na hawa watu mostly hata huwa hawafanyiwi chochote. Hawashikwangi. Somebody murdered a woman, Sheila Wagesha, you know her? Yeah. She was murdered. Huyu jamaa nasikia ameoa. He has a woman. He's a murderer, but there's this stupid woman who still accepted him. Na he's roaming around. Hajashikwa. Yeah. So such suspects mostly huwa hawafanyiwi chochote. So as a woman, you'd rather just walk away before it's too late.
So what changes would you like to see in societies, in governments and in communities in the way they respond to GBV? You mentioned that you felt like you were failed. You were failed by the government, you were failed by your family, you were failed by your community, because you mentioned that you talked to the local administration and nothing was ever done, that you talked to the church and nothing was ever done. So what are some of the things that you feel these institutions can do to change the way they respond to issues of gender-based violence? I
think they should be taking women seriously. When a woman comes to you and tells you this person did this and this and this and this, you know, there's this time I went to the police station and reported, and they were like, si amekugonga tu umefura kidogo, it's not that serious, unaona?
What?
Yeah. Na ubiko hapo, kila kitu iko hapo. They won't even like call him and ask him whatever happened. Even the chief was like, unapigwa kidogo na ushapiga nduru. You see, they should take such things seriously, because tomorrow it might be your daughter, it might be your sister. Yeah, it might be your aunt. And then I would like to tell women to stay away from such men. Yeah, and not to judge women who've left such relationships. Yeah, unapata mtu kama sasa tumesema Jack Bambu. He's married. This guy murdered his wife. Yeah, allegedly. But evidence, like, mi nadhani ni yeye. Because why would he run if he did not? But then unapata mwanamke pia ashaenda akaolewa na yeye. And then the society should not judge women who walk away from such relationships. Hiyo mambo ya udioduo, sijui ni huwezi tunza mwanaume. You know, actually the main reason as to why these things happen repeatedly is because women are afraid of being judged.
True.
Yeah, if I walk away, what are they going to say about me? Saizi mimi naitwa single mother, but I'm probably a single mother. You see such kind of things. Kuna mwanamke pale nje anavumilia kukaa na mwanaume ambaye anampiga because she's afraid of being branded that name, single mother. Watoto wa single mother nini, wengine wakuita malaya nini, yeah? Society should not judge women who have decided to walk away. Rather, they should like take action. Uangalie shida iko wapi. Mbona unapiga mwanamke? Yeah? Si eti huyu victim ndo bado unamtusi, unamsulubisha. It's not a good thing. Yeah.
The victimization is a serious issue with our society. Yeah. And most of the time when a marriage breaks, it's the fault of the woman. Yeah. No one wants to find out.
Vumilia ndoa. Mimi mamangu alikuwa ananiambia vumilia. And then I told her, Mom, I cannot do it. And then I don't know what happened to her. And then she was like, oh my God, huyu mtu ataniulia mtoto. And that was after mimi kutoka mara mingi, kutoka narudi. Yeah.
So what would you tell your younger self? The one that was the victim of abuse at the time. What would you tell your younger self?
I'll tell her to not get married young.
At all?
Young, yeah. I'm gonna get married again, by the way. Hata kama ni mara 10, hata kama ni mara 10. Mimi nitaingia kwa ndoa if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I'll walk away. Yeah, I'll tell her to focus on her dreams and not to get married young. Yeah.
So what does freedom and safety look like for you right now, considering that you are in a place where you are not feeling safe, you are constantly on the edge?
No, right now I can make my decisions without anybody like asking me, why are you doing this? Where are you coming from? Who is calling you? Why are the kids not fed yet? I can do things independently and without having to be like looking back and be like, what is he gonna say about what I'm doing right now? Yeah.
And how can our audience best support survivors of GBV? What do you think the audience can do as people that are watching this and people who are aware of what is going on in the society with regard to GBV?
I think they should stop judging women who've walked away. Yeah. And taking seriously reports made by women who are abused. Yeah. The moment you take them seriously, I think the perpetrators are gonna be like, okay, kumbe hii kitu ni serious hivi. Hatufai kuchapa mwanamke juu tukimchapa tutaenda jela. And if a woman walks away, I think the society should not be branding them names, because no woman would just wake up one day and be like, I'm tired of this marriage, I'm tired of this man. Marriage, you know, wanawake ni watu ambao wanapenda ndoa sana. We love to nurture, to take care of things. And for a woman to walk away, imeshindikana. So after her walking away, society haifai kuwa like inaanza kumjudge. Well, you can't keep a man when he's single mother. You know, they judge our kids too. You know, at times I post my kids and they're like, watoto wa single mother, watakuwa tu wezi. Yeah. Na yeye ni mtoto ambaye alilelewa na baba na mama na anaongea vibaya. So what does that tell you? Yeah, the other day you saw Kode venye alikuwa anajajiwa amevaa nini single mother, and I was like, yo, you guys mnaongea vibaya na watoto wa Kode. You know a person kulingana na fruits zake. The fruits of a Kode are the daughters. Unaona venye amewatunza. Educated, none of them got pregnant like us, you see. Wamesoma, they're not promiscuous, wako tu sawa, ni watoto wa single mother. But kuna watu wanasemanga watoto wa single mother ndo wanaenda kuwa wezi, au ndo sijui yani watoto wa single mother wako na shida sana.
Okay. So, Eddah, thank you so much for being brave enough to share your story with us. The fact that you've shared this story here will enable or will inspire someone else who is going through the same thing, and they know for sure that they're not alone, and they know for sure that they can speak up about it. And to our audience, this is not an individual problem, this is a community problem, because GBV does not just affect the victim, it affects the children in the community, it affects everything, it affects everyone. And that's why we have the responsibility of speaking up about it and making sure that these voices are heard. How can our viewers support you? Where do we listen to your music?
See, YouTube, Eddah Ayon Muziki. Mnakimbia YouTube, mtanipata kama Eddah Ayon Muziki. Na kama unataka kunifollow across all social media platforms, it's Eddah Ayon, EDDAHAYON.
If you or someone you know is going through gender-based violence, there is help, and we will share a toll-free line where they can reach out for help, or you can reach out for help. because as I said before, this is not an individual problem, it's a community problem, and we have to join hands in curbing it. Thank you so much for joining us on our very first episode of Voices on the Edge. My name is Eddah Ayon, and until next time, let's continue joining hands in fighting against gender-based violence. Kindly subscribe to our channel and follow us on our socials.